The Kimmer Show podcast is proudly brought to you by Showcase Photo and Video.
This is Catherine Hepburn, and thank you for listening to a replay of the Kim Peterson Show. The Kim is my knight in shining armor. Listen to him Monday through Friday, noon to 3 on News Radio 106.7, you old poop.
The Kimmer can resist everything.
Thank you.
Except temptation. The Kimmer Show on News Radio 106.7.
Not really narrow it down there much. I know. Here's Rihanna now. This is the family version, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Biatch better have my money. Well, Rihanna's in the news again. I'll tell you why in a second. How you doing? First of all, it's only me. It's only the Kimmer. 12:04. It's good to have you aboard. Here's the number. Write it down. 844-404-1067. 844-404-1067. Coming up, by the way, Hangman's going to come in here at some point, I hope, and tell us a story about the Kimmer getting slandered last night at the Muslim cemetery meeting. That was pretty interesting. But first, we got the newsbreak headlines coming up, sponsored by the Siding Doctor. And a special song in honor of what Rihanna's talking about these days. Rihanna says Rachel Dolezal, who made headlines as the NAACP chapter president, that she claimed she was black, and of course she was a blue-eyed blonde when she was born in her whole life, and she pretended that she's been black all these years. Well, in the Vanity Fair article, Rihanna says that Rachel Dolezal is a little bit of a hero because she flipped society over a little bit. It was a horrible thing that she pretended to be black. Heck no, black's a great thing, and she legit changed people's perspective a bit and woke people up. What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. Hey, Rihanna, stick to, like singing instead of social issues. My God, what, it doesn't make any sense. How could she be a hero? You're a hero if you pretend to be black, you makes you a hero? That's worse than Bruce Jenner getting a Heroes Award for pretending he's a girl.
And she took a black person's job.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, yeah, exactly. That would have gone to a black person. Instead, it goes to a blue-eyed blonde woman who tries to dress like a... Anyway, Rihanna, you goof. All right, coming up, a couple of birthdays on our list. First of all, Simon Cowell, the dreaded, hated recording executive and former judge. Simon Cowell is 56. Now he's judging over in Britain, I guess, on one of those shows. Oliver North, former Lieutenant Colonel, Marine Corps. Oliver North, 72 today. And retired South African Archbishop, Nobel Prize winner Desmond Tutu is 84 today. Just a couple. All right, we got more. 12:06, it's on in the Kimmer, News Radio 106.7. 844-404-1067. Can you believe what's happening to Ben Carson? This is unbelievable. Remember the other day when, and I wasn't doing it to be provocative or to be outrageous or a gonzo. That's what they used to call me, is gonzo broadcaster, Kim Peterson. That's how they referred to him in Rodney Ho's column, was a gonzo broadcaster. I wasn't trying to be a gonzo in every way when I said that the people in Oregon should have fought back or fought together and attacked that gunman who killed a bunch of them. And I didn't call them chickens. We didn't make fun of them. I just said, if this happens, you should be ready to attack. You take your belt off, guys, and wrap the end of it around your hand so the buckle is dangling about a foot, and that's a great weapon. Throw your shoes, eyeglasses, books, anything in your pocket, keychains, whatever. Attack, do something. Don't just stand there, my God. I remember Kimmer Babe called in and said we should make up T-shirts and say, Kimmer says, do something. Just do something. If you all gang attack him, he's not going to kill all of you. Would you want to be a sheep or you want to go in a blaze of glory? Do something. You'll save some lives, if not your own. Anyway, Ben Carson basically said the same thing the other day, and he's getting blasted. And the New York Times called him completely insensitive to the deaths in Oregon. You idiots. What is the matter with you? It's just absolutely stupid. You'll hear his comments. And then a reporter, I love this part, you'll hear this too, a reporter on the street said, Dr. Carson, would you like to reevaluate any of your statements to clear up what you might have said? He said, clear up what? It was very clear. I would have attacked a guy, and, I advise people to do the same thing. Boom. And she tried to get him to change his story. It's unbelievable. Anyway, we'll talk about that. Also, an Oregon dad says President Buttigieg, the coward of the White House, the deserter-in-chief, is visiting Oregon on Friday, and there's another dad saying, I'm not going to meet with you. I want nothing to do with you. I think this is so cool. Also, wait a minute now. Moldova. Isn't that a country from the Three Stooges? Isn't that like what they used to pretend to be, generals from Moldova or something? There's actually a country named Moldova, which is in the middle now of a scandal concerning Russians, the secret agents trying to smuggle radioactive material to ISIS from Moldova. Moldova is an actual country. In fact, we'll have some I bet you have never heard of before. 27 of Bill Cosby's rape victims are going on NBC Friday night. 27 of them sitting there on camera. Man, this is getting great. And now he's being sued by one woman who was 18, I think just under 18, when he raped her when she was a model in like 2006. I mean, it wasn't that long ago or something. Anyway, I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why his wife hasn't shot him, and I don't know why he hasn't just, come out and admitted I'm guilty and then just disappear. This is just disgusting. Let's see, the nerves of have you heard about this burglar? When I think about a burglar sneaking in, think about this. At night, you sneak into someone else's business or house, and you're creeping around in the dark trying to look for, that makes my hands sweat just thinking about it. And talk about the nerves of a burglar. Have you ever burgled? You ever?
All the time.
I remember the first time I shoplifted when I was a kid. I was probably 11. And I shoplifted a pair of gloves from a 5 and dime store. And not that I needed them, I just did it. I stole them.
Did you get caught?
No, I did not get caught. But I've been thinking about it ever since. and honestly, guys, I shoplifted. I stuffed them in. Of course, now, back then you didn't have alarm tags on clothing. It was just they're out there, and and I shoplifted a pair of gloves, which I didn't need. I just took them and I put them inside my coat. It was after school and had my book bag and everything, and put them inside my coat and stole them. And I don't know. I know. I don't know. Maybe I might. I look at my drawers. Does your dog bite? How does it need you to become a policeman? Well, you just take the test. Inspector Clouseau. I don't know why I did it, and I'm still. I'm getting sweaty palms just thinking about doing it again because it was
You're thinking of doing it again.
It was so scary. I was wrong. I'm not saying it's. I'm saying it, but it just. I guess I wanted to prove that I was a man, maybe, or I wanted.
This is Chief Inspector Clouseau's residence. This is Chief Inspector Clouseau speaking on the phone.
Well, I'm screwed now. Anyway, we'll talk about the Muslim cemetery where the Kimmer got slandered. We got some great sound bites and new songs. Twilight, the book Twilight is now in its 10th anniversary, so the author's coming out with a new 10th anniversary edition of the original Twilight book series that kids used to love so much, but now she's switching the genders. The special edition, now they're making Bella. She said that people complained that Bella was too much of a damsel in distress, so now Bella's going to be a guy. Give me a break. Oh, and speaking of switching genders, have you heard, and speaking of people who are complaining that you're calling people cowards for not fighting back to gunmen, have you heard the audio, and I don't have it, it's around here somewhere, of a weatherman in South Carolina giving the forecast and realizing that there's sun in the forecast, and he is so overcome with emotion about saying that the rain is over and the sun is coming out that he starts crying through the whole thing. Absolutely choked up and bawling on the weather forecast that the sun's going to be coming out, and he's so grateful about the sun after all the rain that he starts bawling through his entire weather forecast. Come on, snap out of it. God, what you damn it. And Rosie O'Donnell's kid says she's a phony pothead. And what do you hear about the Harvard debate? And who beat them fair and square? But first,
everyone loves freshly cracked eggs. Except Carol.
Stupid the girl.
Kimmer Now and news, weather, and traffic on your
Here we go. Look out.
News Radio 106.7.
Stand by now.
Hi, this is Andy Rooney.
Hey, Andy.
And this portion of the Kimmer Show is brought to you by Marley Matlin.
Marley?
If Marley goes into court, do they still call it a hearing? That bothers me. And now here's your host, the Kimmer.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, we got news regulars coming up, sponsored by the Side Exact. And a giveaway fight, 12:34 tickets to the Great Georgia Air Show at Atlanta Regional Airport. That's in Peachtree City, used to be Falcon Field. Great Georgia Air Show, Atlanta Regional Airport, November 1st, 4 tickets at 12:30. And here's the number, 844-404-1067. This is Tone Loc. 20 years ago today, Tone Loc was arrested for taking $80 from a pizza parlor in L.A., arguing with the owner about the pizza, demanding his money back, and he pleaded no contest to the charges because he wanted his money back, so he just took it. Anyway, this is my final wife's favorite rap art song, guys. He's getting Funky Cold Medina, baby. Look at it. There we go. 12:20, a news regular's coming up. We'll give away these tickets. We'll be listening. Something we're going to say between now and 12:30 will indicate how you can win these tickets to the air show on River. But first, Hangman Show, and it was down last night. Tell us where you were and what was going on down there in Snellville, over in Snellville.
So I live in Snellville, and in my neighborhood, right outside of the neighborhood, they're trying to build a new cemetery.
Right.
And
by the way, that night, that's. Can you put him on hold? Oh, there you go. Because that's the newsmaker line on a different area code because he's traveling. So yeah, I know that's him. Anyway, sorry. Okay, real quick. Yeah, go ahead. So you're down in Snellville.
They're building the cemetery, and it's going to be a Muslim-leaning cemetery.
Right.
And this particular church believes in natural burials,
Which means
they lie on the paperwork and say they bury the body in a casket.
Allegedly. But it's just
they bury them straight in the
they
ground.
just throw the body in the hole and then cover him up
and move on. So they're protesting it in the neighborhood. We had a little informal meeting last night, and a lady says, well, News Radio 106.7 did a story about this. And another lady chimes in and says, well, I quit listening to them when they brought back the Kimmer. So I'm kind of cowering in the corner when three guys in the back go, they brought Kimmer back?
You didn't tell him I was on the radio, did you? We're trying to keep it down.
So Steve and Josh, we picked up a couple of new listeners.
Steve and Josh, welcome aboard, you guys. Thanks, Hangman. And that second line is what we're looking for here. 1221 News Radio 106. Steve! Mama Meatloaf! 1222 News Radio 106.7. Hold everything. We're going to do something special right here. What's that?
No, I was just saying, Ellen.
Hey, we'll talk about the general's disagreement with Putty Tat over strategery in the Middle East. Ben Carson now has to defend his comments about people doing something if they're about to be killed. What bunch of idiots, bunch of damn pansies. It's unbelievable. I have your news regular line. Let's see who's on the old news regular line. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kimmer. This is the Pope calling.
Holy fantastic. Yes, it's an honor. We're totally humbled and honored.
Well, I'm very troubled with the story the hangman told.
Really? You're troubled with the story?
Oh, yes. That cemetery reminds me of the Tri-State Crematory in the Walker County. They had a slogan over there.
What was their slogan again?
Tri-State, where you're always at the top of the heap.
They just stacked the bodies in the backyard. I don't know.
The Pope has a joke for you.
The Pope joke right here. The joke with the Pope.
There was this Jew in this Catholic church.
Whoa, you're holy fantasticness. No, I'm sorry, sir. This is like a memo and everything.
Oh, this is the joke.
All right, sir.
Do you know what a Subaru dealer and the Dexter King have in common?
A Subaru dealer and Dexter King? I don't know what they have.
They're two people who want to sell you their legacy.
How much for my legacy? Right?
See, the legacy's a station wagon. And
the legacy wagon.
Dexter wants to sell you the family Bible, his father's Nobel Peace Prize, and the fillings of his teeth if he can get enough money for them.
Dig him up and see what he's got in there.
You know the King brothers, Kimmer, they're such money grubbers.
Money grubbers, sir?
Even Archbishop Wilton Gregory called him greedy. That's a pretty bad, you know. This is a guy who dipped into the food for the blind program to buy a plasma TV at the
I don't think he really did that, sir. Allegedly.
Now it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for a visitor from somewhere east of Vatican City.
Yes, sir.
Popenac the Magnificante.
Popenac the Magnificante, sir.
The answer is fire 1, a fire 2, a fire 3.
Fire 1, a fire 2, a fire 3.
What's a typical day over at 92.9 the game?
Last one turned out the lights. You did.
It is. There's a new morning show's coming up, and so's your breakfast. The answer is a fatty deposit.
A fatty deposit, sir.
Describe Amy Schumer putting money into her checking account. The Pope works very hard on these things.
I got a lot of spare time, do you?
Yes. I hold in my hand the last.
Oh, thank you.
May you be trapped in a disabled elevator with Barbara Dooley.
Shut up, Barbara.
Cover me on this one, Jean Boy. The answer is a pantsuit,
a
purse, and a pair of shoes.
A pantsuit, a purse, and a pair of shoes.
Three-parter.
I'm sorry, a pantsuit, a purse, and a pair of shoes.
What would be left after a Hillary Clinton exorcism? See, once you drive out Satan, all that would be left is a pantsuit, a purse, and a
pair of shoes.
How does the original joke go?
Yeah, something like the original one.
Something about odor eaters. I don't remember how that one goes.
Something is all that's left, all right. I think
mine is a much better.
Yes, it is, sir. The Holiness, the Popeneck, the Magnificante with the Kimmer. Mercy. The Mercy's got nothing to do with it. Look out. Yeah. Well, it's only me. 1226, it's only the Kimmer. News Radio 106.7. All right, we're going to open up the phone lines for during the news. 844-404-1063. 844-404-1063. And we will, wait, 1067. Did I say 3?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Hold everything. 844-404-1067. Where did I get the 3? Right, I don't want to, let's say it again. I don't want to be confusing. What an idiot. You know, in fact, Pete, just a minute ago, this is funny. This is typical. John Boy said, hey, did you hear that they're selling Babe Ruth's house in New York for $1 million? Pete said we did that 2 weeks ago. Well, the fact of the matter is, John Boy didn't remember because he's always on his freaking cell phone. I didn't remember because I have no short-term memory whatsoever. Pete's the only one who can bring us back to reality because he's the one who pays attention. Anyway, 844-404-1067. 844-404-1067. Tickets for the Greater Georgia Air Show coming up on News Radio 106.7.
Hello, my name is Jarnac the Magnificent, and this portion of our show is brought to you by Break the Bank.
Break the Bank.
What do they do to fill the Steve McCoy prize closet? And now here's your host. I don't know who he is, and neither does anyone in the sales department.
No, that's not true. Thank you so much, Charnak. And it's only the Kimmer, 1235, News Radio 106.7. This was the day musical Cats opened on Broadway. My final wife made me take her to that. Not at Broadway, but when it came to, I guess it was in Atlanta many years. What is it? Sure. Yeah, when it was here. And it was actually, it's a beautifully staged presentation, but it's kind of girlish. Cats opened on Broadway in this day in 1982. Believe that? Wow. Couple of birthdays. Actress Christopher Norris. That can't be right. Actress Christopher Norris of Trapper John MD is 62. Trapper John MD was one of the Bonanza Cartwright brothers who became a doctor on a different series later. Well, Christopher Norris is a girl? Are you serious? That's like Michael Learned from Family, not Family, from the Waltons.
She played Gloria Ripples Brancusi.
No kidding. Her girl's named Christopher. Wow, that's well, I got to name Kim, so I guess that's unusual. Anyway, look out, 12:30. Let's get away these tickets. 844-404-1067. Let's do, I'll give you two colors of underwear. Pete and John Boy are wearing the same color skivvies. I'm wearing a different color. If you can pick either one, you win the tickets. Brad on News Radio 106.7. Hello, Brad.
Hello, sir.
What do you get? For 4 tickets to go see the Great Georgia Air Show at Atlanta Regional Airport on November 1st. What you guess, sir?
I'm going with black.
No, sorry. No. Here's Bryant on News Radio 106.7. Hey, Bryant, what's your guess? Color of skivvies, either those two or me.
Do what now?
Guess the color of Guess the color of the underwear that Pete and John Boy are wearing, or the color of underwear that I'm wearing today.
Y'all are not wearing any.
Commando, baby. Did you ever go to a commando party? I'll tell you about one in Brookhaven where the lady walked in the door proving she was going commando. My final wife was not amused. Let's get Doc on News Radio. Color of underwear, Doc, what's your guess?
Navy.
No, sorry, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Army. And how about Rick on News Radio 106.7? What do you got, Rick?
Green.
Green, you win. Yay, that's John Boy and Pete have green, and the Kimmer has purple. Congratulations. There you go. You got 4 tickets to Great George Air Show, and I will have 4 more to give away a little later on today. And, Heartbreaker! No, we didn't. And I will have 2 tickets to the Rock Chastain benefit with Chuck Lavelle and Michelle Malone at Chastain Amphitheater, October 16th. October 16th. Give those later on. All right, 844-404-1067. 844-404-1067. Well, it all started with Dr. Ben Carson when he was talking with reporters, and they asked him, would you have proclaimed your faith when the shooter in Oregon came up and said, what is your religion? And if you were a Christian, he shot people in the head. And so they asked Ben Carson, what would you have done?
Not only would I probably not cooperate with him, I would not just stand there and let him shoot me. I would say, hey, guys, everybody attack him. He may shoot me, but he can't get us all.
Exactly. Don't just stand there, do something. We were screaming about this a few days ago. Then Ben Carson says basically the same thing. Fight back. They could do something. And now the liberal media is creaming him. In fact, then a reporter tried to get him to change his mind.
Dr. Carson, can you clarify your statements on the Oregon shooting?
What needs clarification?
What clarification?
I guess there's an implication that you're saying that the students didn't do enough to save themselves.
No, I just said nothing about them. I said what I would do.
It's unbelievable. They're trying to, the indication is that you're saying they didn't do anything to help themselves, so therefore they're a bunch of dirty, stinking cowards. Whoa, he never said any such thing. He said what I would do. And I'm not calling them cowards, but I'm calling them victims who didn't necessarily need to be victims.
I hope he would say it a little more forcefully, though. Hey, everybody,
well,
get him.
But he's not, it's like, he's not a forceful guy, but he's putting it in your head. You should be thinking about this. If this happens to you, react. Do something. And by the way, let me say one more thing, too, and I really don't mean to be preaching, and that wasn't my intention, and it isn't at the moment. It wasn't when I came in. But if you have a gunman who's got a revolver, shoots either 5 or 6 rounds. A revolver is a wheel gun. It has the cylinder, and it spins around with each shot fired. A revolver has either 5 or 6 shots, generally speaking. If you see it's a revolver, and he fires, 6 shots, and then there's a click, it's empty. Go get him. Now, on the other hand, if it's a semi-automatic pistol that has a clip or a magazine that goes in the handle, if you hear the click and the spring-loaded top part of the gun, if you don't know much about guns, goes springing back to show that it's empty. When you hear that it's empty, he has to change magazines. He's empty, changing magazines. Go get him. When you hear the last round go off and you hear the click, there's a definite click. You can hear it, and clearly he's fumbling to try to reload. Go get him. I mean, have this in the front of your mind. God, this isn't, I mean, what a bunch of damn pansies we have in this country. It's like, my God, God forbid your little 7-year-old or 9-year-old should ride a bicycle down the sidewalk without a helmet. I mean, come on, we're wussifying everybody. And Ben Carson later on said, I spent many a night pulling bullets out of bodies. There's no doubt this senseless violence is breathtaking, but I never saw a body with bullet holes. It was more devastating than taking the right to arm ourselves away. Serious people seek serious solutions. The left would prefer to use these tragedies to advance a political agenda. In fact, here's one father of a kid who was shot, who says, as far as I'm concerned, Putty Tat has no business being here to talk with us.
I've spoken to my family and for myself and for my daughter and son. On principle, I find that I am, in disagreement with his policies on gun control, and therefore we will not be attending the visit.
And his kid was shot and wounded. And he talked it over with the kid, and his family says, we don't agree with what the president did. What he did was sleazy. What he did was inexcusable. I mean, it's dirty politics at its worst. On the dead bodies, before they even knew what happened or who they were, he's trying to make his political agenda to the forefront again. I mean, that's just underhanded. That's Clinton stuff. That's the kind of stuff they did. They were just pathetic. What a disgrace of a man in the White House. My God. 1242.
Let go of my nighty kingfish. I'm doing it because I love you.
What did I just say about racial hysteria? Oh, sorry.
The Kimmer Now and news, weather, and traffic on your ride home on News Radio 106.7.
This is Raymond Burr. And now here's your host who wants to know, is it wrong for a man to take another man's pulse even when he isn't a medical professional? No, I don't think so. Here he is, Kim Peterson.
I just love that Raymond Burr. Hello. Give me Paul Drake. 12:50. It's only the Kimmer. By the way, I got news break coming up in a second. We just saw some video of the latest woman to accuse Bill Cosby. I don't think she's really helping her case, and this is really shallow that I'm going to have to say this. We're looking at the picture of her on TV, the woman who's suing Cosby for raping her when she was, just before she was 18, I think. She's there with her lawyer. She's kind of a chubby blonde showing lots of cleavage, lots of eye makeup, and platinum blonde hair, except the last 2 feet of her long platinum blonde hair are dyed purple. So she looks like, she's done a little adult movie in her day, I'll bet you. So.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
I mean, she's not really helping her cause, and he took advantage of me. She looks like she can do anything she wants and has for doing for a long time. Anyway, Radiohead singer Tom York is 47 today. Hold everything. It's a newsmaker line. And hold on, Josh. You're coming up on the shooting in Oregon. Let's see who's on the old newsmaker line. Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon, Cameron. This is your former president, Bill Clinton, calling.
Sticky. How's it going, Mr.
Well, I'm
President?
appalled at this bombing of the clinic in Afghanistan.
Appalled, are you, sir?
If I taught the American people anything, Kimmer, it's that innocent civilians should only be killed to take away attention from one of my sex scandals.
You look like you did over in Bosnia.
Oh, yeah, all the
aspirin
slaughters
factory.
of scores of Serbs just right after the Juanita Broaddrick interview came out, or the way I bombed that aspirin factory right after the day Monica was testifying.
Yeah, kind of unusual there.
Vukovic didn't do any cartoons about that.
I wonder why.
Hey, did you see where the Emory Sleep Clinic has hired Neil Sedaka to do their new jingle?
Neil Sedaka, new jingle?
They say that waking up is hard to do.
Oh, the guy who woke up dead. That was an accident.
If you don't, we know that you'll sue.
Terrible accident.
Don't say that this is the end.
Family won $20 million. I don't know.
Hey, did you see where Rihanna is calling Rachel Dolezal, that white NAACP lady who pretended to be black, a hero?
A hero, she says.
What the hell is wrong with Rihanna? Somebody needs to knock some sense into that girl. I know Chris Brown has tried.
Knock some sense is unfortunate. She wouldn't listen.
Rachel Dolezal may not be a hero, Kimmer. That might be going too far, but she's definitely a trendsetter.
A trendsetter, sir?
Trendsetter, if I can talk.
Sorry.
After Rachel's story came out, more and more white women are backing into parking spaces.
Fellow supporters.
Choosing to rent their TVs as opposed to owning them. So.
Get the Buick Deuce in the quarter with a Crown air freshener already in it, stuff.
Exactly. Ready
full
to
gold
go.
package.
Well, Ashley Judge claiming she was sexually harassed by the head of a major studio.
Major mogul.
Yeah, maybe you heard how Ashley got it to Hollywood in the first place. It certainly went on talent, believe me.
You wouldn't know, I'm guessing.
She's got all the acting skills of Robert Eiler, who played AJ on The Sopranos. I need money. I should have let you drown in that pool, AJ.
Fatherly advice from Tony.
I heard that Winona Judd slept her way to the top, too.
Slept her way to the top, Winona?
Sometimes she even brought her own ladder. Her nickname on Music Row was Moped. Something about fun until somebody saw
somebody
you.
Somebody sees you, then it's a little embarrassing. Golly, thank you. So always an honor to have a former president. It's easier
to drive all those recording studios and see bags of flowers stacked to the
Mr. President, thank you so much. I don't even know what that means. Mercy.
Robert Eiler is coming back. He's made a comeback.
Oh, no. AJ on Soprano. I need more money. I got to buy the Cristal.
After a 6-year vacation,
yes,
he's going to star in a TV series called Four Kings.
Four Kings? You sure you got the emphasis on the wrong syllable there? I'm pretty sure. What the hell is that about?
That's a good question.
We'll find out. Let me get to Josh real fast here on News Radio 106.7. Putty Tat's going to Oregon Friday. Now at least a couple of fathers and some media people are saying he doesn't deserve to be there. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, so I, just like any issue or problem that we encounter, there's always a root cause, right? And so I wonder if Putty Tat's going to recognize the fact that it's not the gun's fault. And here it is. I've identified the common denominator.
Yeah.
Essentially bad parenting.
Yeah, well, mental illness and bad parenting, I think both of those are very good examples of reasons for why this kind of thing happens. Absolutely.
Well, think about it. So if they're mentally ill, then it's bad parenting. They didn't put them in a bad program, care for them. I have an aunt that was mentally challenged, and she was properly cared for. And so as long as you have that kind of structure and environment, it all boils down to bad parenting. I'm a parent. I've got a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old son. And to your point, we've got to act. I have my Georgia license, weapons carry permit.
Yeah.
Believe me, if anything goes down, while I'm present, I'm going to react. And my 2 sons, both who were taking martial arts, again, 9 and 6 years old.
Excellent.
We just got to be able to react to these events when they occur, and just not, like you said, just sit there and wait.
Yeah, at least I think it's, and thank you, Josh, I appreciate it. It sounds like you're doing a great job with the kids. But the fact of the matter is you need to think about this. I mean, think about it right now when you're not in danger, when everything, you're at work or in your car or whatever, and you're going along. Think about what you would do, put it in the front of your mind so that when the thing does happen that requires some action, that, everybody's going to be scared. And if you're scared so much that you can't move, have you ever been so scared you literally can't move your body? Well, that's one thing. But if you thought about it in advance, think about it. And we're not trying to be militaristic. We're not trying to be animalistic. We're not trying to be overly aggressive. But my God, Ben Carson was exactly right. Do something. Don't just become a victim. You may be a victim anyway, but go down fighting. And if you all come together, you'll win. You see it over and over again. The terrorist on the train in Paris. Yep. The 3 guys jumped him and saved a bunch of lives, including their own. Anyway, 12:57, we got it on with a camera on News Radio 106.7.
Before you leave for your long-awaited trip to Europe, Africa, or Alpharetta, make sure you make your way to Showcase Photo and Video and see John Williams and the team. Not only are they Atlanta's premier authorized dealer for Nikon, Canon, Sony, Panasonic, Fiji, Blackmagic Design, Olympus, and more, the Showcase School remains a pioneer in field of adult photography education. Located at the corner of La Vista and Cheshire Bridge, call them today. Atlanta's finest photo and video equipment dealer, 404-325-7676. That's 404-325-7676 or showcaseinc.com.
This is Hank Hill, and thank you for listening to a replay of The Kimmer Show, courtesy of Hangman and John Boy. So if you didn't like the show, blame them. Listen to The Kimmer weekdays noon to 3 on News Radio 106.7.
This is an excellent time for The Kimmer.
Yes, thank you.
To become a missing person.
No, what?
The Kimmer Show on News Radio 106.7.
Thank you so much. Yeah, 104. It's only me. It's only The Kimmer. News Radio 106.7. 844-404-1067 is the number. Yeah, look out now. We mentioned earlier, Pete found out that Robert Eiler, the kid who played, the guy who played AJ, the son on The Sopranos, is back in the acting business, apparently. And I thought, what in the world show would he be on? Well, here's more.
Oh, boy. It's called Four Kings. Half-hour show about 4 best friends live in the penthouse of the Cosmo in Las Vegas. 3 are world-class poker players. The 4th is a bookie, and they travel the world in search of high-stake poker games.
Robert Eiler and 3 buddies search poker games around the world for high-stakes
give
poker.
Give it 3 shows.
He's going to jump the shark. I give it 3 shows, Alex. Pretty good. All right, we got a couple of birthdays for you. Comedian and hideous creature from The View, Joy Behar, is 73 today. Jake McLaughlin from the TV show Quantico is 33. And Pete, Mary Badham is 63 today. Mary Badham, who? The girl who played Scout in the movie To Kill a Mockingbird.
That just come out? Is that in the theaters
Pete
now?
is the only American who ever went through school, and Pete Davis is maybe one of the most well-read people you will ever know. You could ask him something about the history of Bosnia-Herzegovina, and he would know it. He would be able to tell you the origin of the Serbs and the Bosnian army. I mean, the guy's unbelievable. But you've never read To Kill a Mockingbird and never saw the movie.
Did you know that the Serbs
How
are
is
Christians
that?
who,
See
who
what
fought
I mean?
for the
It's-
Muslims?
we don't care. My God, man. How could you go through life? You've written like 10 books. How could you go
But
through
you know
life
what?
as a writer and you'd never even read To Kill a Mockingbird?
Have I not been proven right by the fact that she made Atticus Finch a racist?
Well,
in this
there
last,
you are.
Yeah.
So, nah. Yeah, so. Anyway, so Robert Eiler's got back on TV. Yeah, that's not going to. Is it a network show or a cable show? Does it say? Oh, man. Anyway, we'll find out. All right, 844-404-1067. And we're having a little fun today because Rihanna has now come out and said in an interview in Vanity Fair that she thinks Rachel Dolezal is something of a hero. Rachel Dolezal was the blue-eyed blonde who pretended to be black pretty much her whole adult life and claimed to be black, and she became head of the local NAACP branch where she lives, and then had to quit because of embarrassment that she's not black at all. She just pretended to be. And what a phony and a fraud. And we even put it to, even the hideous Jesse Jackson put it to song. Here on the Kimmer Show.
This is the Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Jesse.
As far as that lady at the Spokane NAACP is concerned,
Yeah.
Rachel's white when she says she's black. Got caught in a lie and she won't take it back. Rachel tried to change her race, but wound up with an orange face. A John Boehner face. Her parents put her in a bind. They say that Rachel has lost her mind. Lost her mind. She's not black.
Sing it, Jesse.
Rachel is white. Her hair was blonde and her complexion was light. Oh, Rachel does not understand. It's not enough to have a tan. Curly hair and a tan. We need money to research the situation. So make those checks payable to Caucasians assuming suspect heritages. Or use the abbreviation CASH for short.
That's what
Keep
I
hope
thought.
alive.
I am somebody. You ain't nothing. Hey, Jesse, 108 on News Radio 106.7, 844-404-1067. Coming up, have you heard about the rap video, which turned out to be stalking a cop to gain street cred by a guy who now has committed a felony because he was too stupid to realize it, and they know who he is. Coming up, 108. But first, here's Steve. Steve, we get it. On News Radio 106.7. Hey, Steve, welcome aboard. It's only the Kimmer. Thanks for holding you on the radio.
Thank you, sir.
What's up?
I was going to tell you that I am from the town that book's written about, and I have never read the book or seen the movie.
Thank you.
I thought every kid in America had to read that in like 9th grade. I mean, I can't believe it. And you never saw the movie, Mike. How could you go through life and never have seen that movie? Do you ever want to see it, or you just don't care?
I've watched bits and pieces of it, and what's the funny part, in the town, every year they put the play on, and I've never even been to the play.
Steve, I love it. Listen, well, there you go. All right, I appreciate it, and he lives there, so there you go. And now, of course, the new book came out, which actually was written before the one that we're familiar with. It was a prequel. It was written before To Kill a Mockingbird, and now it's out available from the same author. Yeah. And clearly in that first book, Atticus Finch and there's a bunch of racist stuff going on there, and Scout. I mean, it's a whole new controversial thing now. I don't care. It just clearly is one of the great pieces of literature in American works. And I'm just amazed you haven't read it or even seen the stinking movie. All right, look out. 844-404-1067. It's on the camera. 844-404-10. Oh, by the way, somewhere in China, there is a walkway made out of glass, like a bridge, a pedestrian bridge, that you can walk on as a tourist to sightsee 3,500 feet in the air on the side of a mountain. It's made of glass, so you're walking basically, and you're looking down 3,500 feet. Okay, you get the picture? A glass walkway, and you're looking down 3,500 feet. And the other day, all of a sudden, the glass started to crack. Somebody dropped a a phone or something on it, and it started to crack. And so there are people on the walkway looking down 3,500 feet, and the glass walkway underneath them starts to buckle and crack. It just cracked like a broken... And it turns out that they didn't fall through, but they've closed the event for a while. 3,500 feet up in the air. And a dropped phone can cause it to crack? I don't think so.
Did you read what the Chinese government said?
What?
No threat to safety.
No threat to safety. You're only dangling 3,500 feet in the air. That's more than half a mile straight up. Holy smoke. And have you seen, there's another picture that's just made me sick. There's a picture going around the social media of a cat with an arrow from a crossbow stuck through his stomach. In one side and out the other, like the old joke with the arrow on either side of your head. It's what it looks like through the middle of the cat, an arrow, and the cat's just laying there, and it turned out they put him to sleep, and not permanently. They operated on him and got the arrow out, and the cat's going to be okay, but it goes right through him. Can you see it? You see have you found it? Oh, isn't that awful?
It is awful.
A crossbow arrow right through the middle of a cat. One end on one half of the cat, and the other end sticking out the other end of the cat.
One life.
Wow, yeah, they say he's got 8 more to go. 112.
Could be bred and slaughtered.
Thank you. On your news.
The Kimmer Now and news, weather, and traffic on your ride home on News Radio 106.7.
Bye.
This is the Reverend Jesse Jackson, and this portion of the Kim Peterson Show is brought to you by my new book.
A new book.
It's called Preachers Do More Than Lay People. And now here's your host. He ain't nobody.
Wait a minute.
Kim Peterson.
I am somebody. I love it. 118, it's only me. It's only the Kimmer on News Radio 106.7. I got like 9 things going on right now. News Radio 106.7. Here's the number, 844-404-1067. 844-404-1067. This is one of my favorite pieces of music, Bach's Cello Suite. And Yo-Yo Ma is doing it on the cello for us today. Yo-Yo Ma is 60 years old today. And I don't know where you got this picture of a famous picture of Yo-Yo Ma laying, is it a bathroom floor? He's laying on a bathroom floor feeding a wombat. By the way, a wombat is a real animal. I mean, do you know what a wombat is, John Boy? Have you ever even heard of it?
Some sort of marsupial?
Yeah, it's kind of, hey, look at you. I mean, it has a pocket somewhere. There you go. Anyway, Yo-Yo Ma is 60 years old today, and I love this piece of music from Bach. All right, look at what else we got here. A birthday or two. For example, Omar Benson Miller from CSI Miami's 37. Jake McLaughlin from Quantico's 33 today. And this is the 20th wedding anniversary today of Ted Danson, formerly of Cheers and other things, and Mary Steenburgen. They were both married 20 years ago today to each other. Of course, on Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts. 20th anniversary. That's nice. Very good. 120, it's only me. It's only the Kimmer News Radio 106.7. 844-404-1067. 844-404-1067. News Mag line coming. Oh, by the way, don't forget, rare public appearance by the Kimmer this Saturday. There's a yearly anniversary party at RBM of, where? Alpharetta. My home of the Kimmer car. RBM of Alpharetta this Saturday. I think it goes from like 10 to 5 or I don't know. It's pretty much most of the day. I'll be there around 11:30 or so. And the Newsmaker Line guy, Jim Gossett, will be there. He's got a gig that night, so he can't stay long. But around noon, if you want to come by and meet Jim Gossett, the Newsmaker Line guy, will be at RBM of Alpharetta this Saturday around 11:30, 12, something like that for a while. So we'd love to have you come by and see us. Oh, coming up, another one of Pete's weird dreams. Do you always remember your dreams?
Some of them.
But you've had some, well, he has another beauty that may not portend too well for us. Some kind of future here. I don't know. I think there could be a bad sign in there. Anyway, hold everything. It's 121, and it's, hold on. We've got something coming in right now. Just stand by. See, what's the circle for? Well, he must be still waiting. All right, here we go. All right, now we're ready. Now, let's see. It's the Newsmaker Line. Let's see who's on the old Newsmaker Line. Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon, Kimmy, and I've been trying to call for about 4 days, and the hangman says I'm not important enough to be on your show anymore.
No, Jay Leno here. You've got the new show starting, I think, this week on MSNBC about your cars and garage stuff and having fun. Congratulations, back on TV.
It's even worse. I think it's CNBC.
Oh, CNBC. You're right. It is worse.
Yeah, it's called Jay Leno's Garage. Here's a big ratings grabber, huh? Yeah, we're expecting Rock 100 morning show numbers for this, baby. I mean, who knows, Kimmer, if our ratings are low enough, Rodney Ho might even write a story about it, because he only focuses on shows that don't show up in the ratings.
Don't make it, yeah.
Rodney will get around to it right after he wraps up that 8-part series on the regular guys. Where are they now? Right after Rodney Ho reprints some sucking blither propaganda press release about their latest bought and paid for award verbatim.
I'm not bitter, though.
Who attends these stupid self-congratulatory radio award shows anyway?
Who attends that?
I mean, talk about a circle of jerks. I mean, why don't they just buy a Craftmatic adjustable bed and gratify themselves at home,
I can't imagine, sir.
But I'm not bitter or anything. That's the good part.
Not bitter at all.
Oh, here you go. Josh Duggar has joined the South Carolina flood rescue effort over out there.
Josh Duggar from that family, 18 family? Really?
Yeah, he heard they were looking for women and children first, so.
Oh.
Josh is actually looking for women who are children, but Oh, here you go. Dateline.
Yeah,
Dateline's going to feature 27 different women who say they were sexually assaulted by Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, 27 of them.
A big deal. They could probably find 127 of Bill Clinton's rape victims. If any of them were still alive.
Afraid to testify.
I can say these things because I'm totally irrelevant now,
Well, that's what they told you.
Do no jokes about Obama for 7 years. But now that I'm off the air, hey, loving this fall weather we're having, Kimmer.
Fall weather, I love this.
Yeah, I just heard Kirk Mellors say, my exclusive forecast. Sunny and mild, a great day for DeKalb CEO Lee May to go out and steal some sunshine.
Political twinge.
Thank you very much.
Weather.
Hey,
Yes.
speaking of our friends over there at White Columns, you know what Clark Howard and Tiger Woods have in common?
Clark Howard and Tiger Woods, I don't know.
They're two people who are known to stiff a waitress.
Oh, God.
Not leave a tip.
Not leave a gratuity after the end. Tip or otherwise.
Or the rest either,
The whole thing. I don't know.
Crazy.
The whole bill to pay
Yeah,
for the
say what you will, though. Tiger's a great restaurant manager.
He's a great restaurant manager?
Oh, yeah, he likes to plug his staff. Thank you very much.
Laudatory. The man's laudatory.
Yeah.
Thank you. So Jay Leno, right here.
I got
Nope. Oh, heartbreaker. He's going to get you for that. We'll pick this up next time. 124, it's on to the Kimmer News Radio. Hi-oh. 1067 there, 1067. There you go. All right, I got it. It's only me. It's on to the Kimmer. Yes, it's true. That stupid woman won the stinking lottery. A factory worker chick. In Michigan, won the stinking lottery. Actually, I'm happy for her, but it should have been me.
Oh, I quit automatically. I'm going to take care of my kids. I don't want them to have to work like I had to work and deal with the kind of things that I had to deal with over life. I just want to make it a good life for them.
She said she had a crappy job. She was having a crappy night, went to McDonald's for her overnight shift lunch break, and looked at the numbers, realized she won, and she quit immediately. It was a $310 million Powerball, and she's going to take home $140 million after taxes. She took the lump sum after taxes. It is good for her. And, oh, by the way, she's had the same boyfriend for 36 years. She's 50. She's had her same boyfriend for 36 since she was in junior high.
Not going to put a ring on it.
And they're not. Well, now they're saying, "Oh, you better marry this one." And she says, "If we get married, he's signing a prenup." But you got to be happy for her. I mean, and that's the way it ought to be. Some factory worker in a crappy job. She works in a factory that makes, I forgot now, like, flim-floms and stuff. No, she works in some, like, not asbestos, but fiberglass. She does fiberglass something or other. So, and she says it's a crappy job and it's dirty and filthy and she hates it. And when she's blasting her, work conditions, I'm quite amazed. I hate this place. She won 3 of them. It should have been me. Sorry. It's all right. We still think about it, though. It's okay. All right. Look out. Coming up, we got a billion things. It's on the Kimmer. We'll also tell you about the rap video that has the lawmen around the country extremely upset. You will hear about Rosie O'Donnell being called a pot-headed phony by her own kid. The Harvard debate team goes down in a flaming defeat, and you may not ever guess who put it to them. Also, the Muslim cemetery, Doctors Without Borders. Are they, you'll hear the president of Doctors Without Borders here in a minute. She actually, I guess, is accusing the United States military of deliberately bombing a hospital. Do you really think that the military of the United States deliberately bombed that hospital? Deliberately? As a target? Come on, lady. Snap out of it. 127 on News Radio 106.7.
This is your formerly alive announcer, Don Pardo.
Hello, Don.
And this portion of the Kimmer Show is brought to you by the Landmark Diner.
4 slices of burnt toast and a rotten egg.
Burnt toast and a rotten egg.
Yeah, I got a tapeworm and it's good enough for him.
Oh!
And now, here's your host, Kim Peterson.
Pick a number. I got 135. Gonna slow it down for Ladies' Choice here. The Airport Holiday Inn. Good of you to come with how long y'all been married? Oh, sorry. Yeah, just tell us what you want to hear, and we'll be here right up till midnight. The sweet swinging sounds of Billy Looper and the Loopers. Wouldn't you love to do that one time? Just do a lounge act at the Airport Holiday Inn. My God. Anyway, 136. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. Just fooling around here on News Radio 106.7. Tony Braxton, the famous rhythm and blues singer. Tony Braxton, 48 today. Tico Torres from Bon Jovi is 62 today. And this was John Boy, have you ever heard of the Achille Lauro? The Achille Lauro. Do you know what that is?
No.
Achille Lauro was on this day in 1985. Palestinian gunmen hijacked the Achille Lauro, which was an Italian cruise ship. It was cruising in the Mediterranean. Palestinian gunmen hijacked it on this day in 1985. And among other things, they had a crew of and passengers of more than 400 people. Yasser Arafat's right-hand man, Abu Abbas, was the mastermind for the hijacking, and he was negotiating for the escape of his men after they hijacked the Achille Lauro. They executed an American tourist named Leon Klinghoffer, a retired appliance manufacturer from Manhattan. He had had 2 strokes. He was in a wheelchair. They shot him and then tossed him overboard in his wheelchair to die drowning in the sea. Well, ignoring U.S. protests, the Egyptian government rushed Abu Abbas, the leader and gang leader and mastermind, and the Achille Lauro hijackers into an Egypt Air charter plane bound for Tunis. Well, President Ronald Reagan was aboard Air Force One, just returning to Washington from a speaking engagement in Chicago, when word reached him that the terrorists were getting away on an Egyptian airliner. So he got touched in the air at Air Force One. He contacted the U.S. carrier USS Saratoga, patrolling the NATO base in Italy. The appearance of he put 7 F-14 Tomcats in the air. Said, get those planes up there and surround this Egyptian airline that's sneaking off the bad guys. The Tomcats unnerved the Egyptian air pilot so bad he altered his course, went to Sicily. The American plan was to make him land, or he said, you either land or we're going to shoot you down. And so they landed. Then the American troops got encircled. They encircled the plane, but the American troops were in turn encircled by Italian soldiers because Italy wanted to try the hijackers in the Italian courts first because it happened under Italian jurisdiction and it was an Italian boat. The Abu Abbas, the leader, and his cronies would stay in Italian hands. Italy refused a request by America to extradite the terrorist leader. He soon was freed. Egypt's president, Hosni Mubarak at the time, decorated the Egyptian pilot and demanded an apology from the United States for Reagan threatening to shoot down the stinking plane. Reagan says, I will never apologize. University students staged anti-American demonstrations. The Italy government collapsed as members abandoned to protest what they deemed to be an anti-Israel, pro-PLO Palestinian stance. And eventually the United Nations General Assembly bowed to American pressure and shelved a proposal to invite Yasser Arafat to speak at an event commemorating the anniversary of the Italian hijacking of Achille Lauro. Having himself condoned the hijacking of it, Arafat accused Reagan of an act of piracy for intercepting the Egyptian jet in the air. Reagan didn't fool. I mean, these are things you have to remember about when we used to have presidents with some backbone. He didn't fool around with these people. He said, either you land or I'll shoot your ass out of the air. They said, runway 4, here we come. That was in 1985. And it was a huge international scandal back then, but it was the Achilles, and Leon Klinghoffer was the guy they tossed overboard in his wheelchair.
We have sound of Reagan when he got mad.
Here's the president's sound.
That no bastard ever won war by dying for his country. He won it by making the other poor dumb bastard die for his country.
Thank you. And
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Reagan smash. Reagan smash.
Other actual Kimmer's live hidden secret microphone of the actual events that happened tearing down that wall. And then there's this. In Los Angeles, police have video showing a guy with a gun in a car following and basically stalking a cop. Instagram posted this. The police decided it wasn't actually a threat. It was a publicity stunt by an early 90s rap group. But the police are none too happy about it. And the officers talked about exactly what had happened.
The primary suspect has legal representation. We're in contact with that legal representation and trying to get him to turn himself in. This individual was trying to promote his career as a rap artist and wanted to gain some type of street credibility by displaying this video. The crime he committed was carrying a loaded firearm in a vehicle. He has a prior conviction for the same offense. This makes this into a felony.
Yeah, instead of, now it's a felony arrest facing him. Well, Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark says this is still pretty bad territory to have cops have to worry about every day.
I was angered by this video, and officers who would see that thing would be disturbed as well, because we know we're vulnerable when we're out there. This is subhuman behavior. It should be disturbing, like I said, to every law enforcement officer in America, that this kind of stuff would be put up to encourage weak-minded people, how easy it is to ambush a law enforcement officer. We already know that. We live with that threat every day. Scary. We don't need that kind of stuff encouraged.
And this was all over social media, all over the news in Los Angeles, and he's absolutely right. It's another example of police bashing and threats, and it gives people the idea, boy, it's pretty easy to go stalk a cop if you want to. What's going on with us? It's just unbelievable. 142 right now.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape.
Yeah, it's coming up. Now.
The Kimmer Now and news, weather, and traffic on your ride home on News Radio 106.7.
You can take your own word for it?
This is Jerry Seinfeld.
Hey, Jerry.
And this portion of the Kim Peterson Show is brought to you by Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer.
Hey, Amy, make better movies and maybe fewer people will die. And now here's your host for the time being,
God.
Kim Peterson.
Thank you so much. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. 150. News Radio 106.7. Hold on, Bob. Be right with you, sir. Kevin Godley from the group 10cc is 70 years old today, and 10cc denies that the 10cc came from what we always thought it came from. It's a whole different thing. Also, by the way, have you seen, there's a new Burger King sandwich. Have you seen this thing? The black Burger King's burger? The bun is black. And I guess they use food coloring and anyway, it's got kind of a funny story behind it. But have you ever had it? I haven't had one. I haven't been there in years. But anyway, I got 150 is our time. Rob's coming up. It's only the Kimmer. News Radio 106.7. 844-404-1067. And we'll get my 2 tickets to the Chastain Chuck Lavelle thing coming up at 2 o'clock. Oh, wait, there's a News Mega Line. Let's see who's on the old News Mega Line. Good afternoon.
Hello, who is this on my phone at this ungodly hour?
Hey, it's Charlton Heston. How's it going, sir?
Mr. Heston.
Well, no.
Perfect timing.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was reading that the FBI has found Hillary's fingerprints all over her private server.
Hey, private server?
They actually lifted fingerprints off that Uma Abedin woman?
No, sir. Not that server.
Oh, her email server.
That's her aide.
How can Hillary still be in the race, for God's sakes? When are the American people going to wake up, Mr. Heston?
Yes, sir.
It's like the entire country's in an Emory sleep study or something. They may never snap out of it.
Never get out of it.
Well, as someone mentioned a minute ago, Burger King selling a new Halloween Whopper with a black bun.
A black bun?
Or as they called it, the Landmark Diner, mold. It's available year-round over there.
No extra charge either.
And they let the milk go yellow and call it holiday eggnog, I understand. Hangman was telling me the food color in the
The food coloring in that Halloween Whopper bun does something interesting to your intestines.
Yes, it does.
Let's put it this way. You thought number 17 at Chastain Park was a crappy green. You know, a bad putting surface.
A bad surface to putt your ball on the golf course, yes.
My God. Look that one up, ladies and gentlemen. And now it's time.
Oh, yes.
For a visitor from the east. Charnak. The Magnificent.
The Magnificent.
Why is the man handing me these envelopes?
Well,
who do I look like over here? Oh.
No, sorry.
The answer is a passenger side airbag.
A passenger side airbag.
What's another name for Barbara Dooley?
Shut up, Barbara.
The answer is fired with enthusiasm.
Fired with enthusiasm.
Describe the staff at 92.9 The Game.
You're out.
They're not just fired. They do it. The answer is an NFL official and Dr. Walter Palmer.
An NFL official and Dr. Walter Palmer, the dentist.
Two things that are really rough on the Lions. It wasn't that great of a line, and I still couldn't say it.
Couldn't say the line. It's all right.
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions, of course.
The answer is, how's the little lady?
How's the little lady?
What's a stupid question to ask a Cox Broadcasting executive?
Don't they do Men's Warehouse or something? Don't they have one?
Yes, it's not really has anything to do with clothing. It's just a warehouse filled with men.
They wear the suits.
I hold in my hand the final envelope.
Thank you. There's a God.
May your only son be first place at the next Cox Award show. Cover me, John Boy.
Yes, sir.
The answer is a traffic light and Burger King.
A traffic light and Burger King.
Two places where green means go. Or does go mean green?
Either way, you're going to see green at some point.
Sim.
Thank you, Sim.
Sim
with Charnak. The Magnificent.
See, they were fired with enthusiasm.
You're fired. You're fired. That's the way I want to go out. With a big bang. All right. Look out. It's only the Kimmer, 155 on News Radio 106.7. Hands up, hands up. Light your lighters. Here's Bob on News Radio 106.7. Bob, thanks for holding on the radio. Welcome, sir.
Hey, Kimmer, I was going to comment on the troops that were surrounding the Egyptian airliner from the Achille Lauro.
Yes, sir, when they got it on the ground, thanks to Reagan's threat, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the first uses of JSOC, which is what's today's SEAL Team 6 and the Delta Force, to be deployed after Eagle Claw. You know, they formed that Joint Special Operations Command.
Right. I haven't heard that in a while either. Excellent. Were you part of that
there's
troop?
a book out about it.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, sir.
I hadn't read that one. Yeah, 1985, I think. But it sure showed, thanks, Bob, it sure showed the difference in presidencies over time, didn't it? Yeah. You think Putitat would have done...
Hello?
Hi, Bob. You think Putitat would have done anything about it? Hell, he let Marine Tamaresi rot down in a Mexican jail for almost a year and never even mentioned his stinking name, being tortured. Unbelievable. What a pansy. In fact, everybody's talking about what an idiot. Oh, we have a Facebook update?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Andrew's not happy.
What? Andrew's not happy? Well, what'd I do?
Yesterday, I thought my radio was broke because the Kimmer show was all static. So I made sure it was broke. Then today I was... sorry. Then today I was listening to yesterday's show and found out about the transmitter or whatever. Somebody owes me a radio.
Well, oh my God. Put a 9mm round through it, blaming us. Sorry, Andrew. All right, we need to get Andrew a radio. Anybody got a free radio? You know, we need a radio. Someone donate us a nice radio for Andrew, and when we find one, we'll keep you posted, Andrew. Save that Facebook update, and somebody brings us a nice radio. He doesn't be one of those Bose $700 ones, but whoever's got a nice radio, bring it by, and we'll tell Andrew he can come pick it up. How about that? We'll get a radio for Andrew. Hell, he can have the one in our office. It hasn't worked since we've been here. I have to use the computer to hear anything. All right, look out. It's 1:57. It's only me. You'll hear more Newsbreak lines. Don't forget, he'll be at RBM of Alpharetta along with the Kimmer around noon this Saturday. If you want to meet Jim Goss, the Newsbreak line guy, and get an autograph or picture, just chatting, we'd love to see you. This Saturday, we'll be there around noon. That's their yearly anniversary party community. All communities invited. Free food, music, all that stuff. 1:57. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer on News Radio 106.7.
Who let the dogs out?
Hey guys, it's John Boy. Thanks for downloading today's Kimmer Show podcast. Be sure to tune in from noon to 3, Monday to Friday, for more fun with the whole gang right here on News Radio 106.7.
This is Walter White, and you've made it to the end of another Kim Peterson show. Either that, or you scan past all the bad parts, which is pretty much the whole program because it sucks. If you have no life, listen to the Kimmer, Monday through Friday, noon to 3, on News Radio 106.7.
Kimmer's eyes are like the stars.
Thank you.
Very far apart.
Well,
the Kimmer Show on News Radio 106.7.
Thank you so very much. Look out, 204. News Megaline's coming up, sponsored by the Signing Doctor. Thank you. Also, the Ashley Judd harassment case. Rosie O'Donut outed by her daughter. Yeah, we got it all. Singer John Cougar Messy Pants is... Oh, sorry, I said Messy. John Cougar Menstrual Cramps. Oh, no, that's not it either. John Cougar Mellencamp is 64 today. I say that because he made fun of National Guardsmen. So anytime I mention his name, I always make fun of him a little because he deserves to be made fun of for what he said about him, that they didn't do anything, just sat around all the time. Let's see. This was the day... Oh, you know the TV show Homicide: Life on the Street with Richard Belzer? He's that weird comedian, really not an attractive guy. He's the one who got knocked out by Jesse Ventura, I think it was, or no, by one of the wrestlers. Might have been who's the big blonde wrestler? Hulk Hogan was on Richard Belzer's TV show, or he was on as a guest, and he bet that he could put a sleeper hold on Richard Belzer. And Belzer said, okay, I want to see how it works. Go ahead and do it on me. So he did, and he knocked him out with a sleeper hold, cutting off the supply of oxygen to his brain, knocked him dead out, and he fell over so bad he cracked his head open and had blood everywhere and had to have stitches, and he sued Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, brother.
He said, you asked for it. He said, but you can't do it. Oh, yeah, bam. Out like a light in like 4 seconds and banged his head and had to sue for it. Anyway, Richard Belzer and Clark Johnson, 2 actors from the TV show Homicide: Life on the Street, were filming an episode on the street of the TV show, and this was on this day in 1996, a shoplifter thought they were real cops and surrendered to him. A shoplifter stole his stuff and saw these 2 guys with badges and guns, and he said, I give up. And it was 2 actors because the shoplifter gave himself up to 2 actors on the sidewalk. That's shooting a movie. Idiots. Anyway, 206, it's only the Kimmer on News Radio 106.7. 844-404-1067. 844-404-1067. Doctors Without Borders, I'm going to play a news magazine for you here in a second, but Doctors Without Borders actually claims that the American warplanes bombed the hospital that's in the news these days on purpose.
It is unacceptable that the bombing of a hospital and the killing of staff and patients can be dismissed as collateral damage or brushed aside as a mistake.
Are they actually accusing the American military of deliberately targeting a hospital just for the fun of it? And by the way, the Taliban was using the hospital to shoot weapons at their enemies from, by the way. I mean, come on, doctors. Nobody has more respect for doctors than I do. Hell, they're the reason I'm alive today, because of what doctors did. The reason I'm alive today. So, I have nothing but respect for doctors. But they're also, these people are screaming liberals. They're anti-war in the first place, and they're now accusing the American military, apparently, of deliberately targeting a hospital. That's nonsense. I don't believe that. Do you really believe that? I don't believe that. Deliberately bombing a hospital just for the fun of it, for no reason? It's just ridiculous. And Ben Carson's now got to be on the defensive for saying people in Oregon should have done so. He would have done something if he had been there. We said the same thing, and now the New York Times claims he's insensitive. Trying to find anything they can to blast politicians from the right. 208. How about a newsmaker line? He was on the old newsmaker line. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kimmer. This is the Pope calling.
Totally fantastic. This is an honor. We're totally humbled and honored.
Well, I'm very troubled with the story the hangman told.
Really? You're troubled with the story?
Oh, yes. That cemetery reminds me of the Tri-State Crematory in the Walker County. They had a slogan over there.
What was their slogan again?
Tri-State, where you're always at the top of the heap.
They just stacked the bodies in the backyard. I don't know.
The Pope has a joke for you.
The Pope joke right here. The joke with the Pope.
There was this Jew in this Catholic...
No. Whoa, your holy fantasticness. No, I'm sorry, sir. This is like a memo and everything.
Oh, this is the joke.
All right, sir.
Do you know what a Subaru dealer and the Dexter King have in common?
A Subaru dealer and Dexter King? I don't know what they have.
They're two people who want to sell you their legacy.
How much for my legacy?
Right? See, the legacy is a station wagon.
It's the legacy wagon.
Dexter wants to sell you the family Bible, his father's Nobel Peace Prize, and the fillings of his teeth if he can get enough money for them.
Let's dig him up and see what he's got in there.
You know the King brothers Kimmer, they're such money grubbers.
Money grubbers, sir?
Even Archbishop Wilton Gregory called him greedy. That's a pretty bad, you know. This is a guy who dipped into the food for the blind program to buy a plasma TV at the
I don't think he really did that, sir. Allegedly.
Now it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for a visitor from somewhere east of Vatican City.
Yes, sir.
Popenac the Magnificante.
Popenac the Magnificante, sir.
The answer is fire 1, a fire 2, a fire 3.
Fire 1, a fire 2, a fire 3.
What's a typical day over at 92.9 the game?
Last one, turn out the lights. You did.
There's a new morning show's coming up, and so's your breakfast. The answer is a fatty deposit.
A fatty deposit, sir.
Describe Amy Schumer putting money into her checking account. The Pope works very hard on these things.
I got a lot of spare time, do you?
Yes. I hold in my hand the last.
Oh, thank you.
May you be trapped in a disabled elevator with Barbara Dooley.
Shut up, Barbara.
Cover me on this one, Jean Boy.
Yes, sir,
the answer is a pantsuit,
a
purse, and a pair of shoes.
A pantsuit, a purse, and a pair of shoes.
Three-parter.
I'm sorry, a pantsuit, a purse, and a pair of shoes.
What would be left after a Hillary Clinton exorcism? Once you drive out Satan, all that would be left is a pantsuit, a purse, and a pair of shoes. How does the original joke go?
Yeah, something like the original one.
Something about odor eaters. I don't remember how that one goes.
It's all that's left, all right. Look out. It's only me. More news break lines. And let's give away tickets. I'll tell you what, after Pete Sportscast, I have 2 tickets to the Rock Chastain Benefit Concert with Chuck Leavell and Michelle Malone at Chastain. That's Chuck Leavell at Chastain Theater on October 16th. And we'll do that at 2:30. Listen to something in Pete Sports coming up, and we'll refer to it at 2:30. So, again, it'll be in Pete Sports. Yesterday we had people who heard Pete Sports but weren't really listening, so we'll do it today a little different, we hope. All right, it's 212.
What did I just say about ethnic...
The Kimmer Now and news, weather, and traffic
on
your ride home on News Radio 106.7.
There we go. Stand by.
Yeah, this is Bugs Bunny.
Hey,
and
Bugs.
this portion of the Kim Peterson Show is brought to you by the James Jordan Cocktail.
Oh.
It's 2 shots and a splash of water. Hey, now you stinker. And now here's your host, the Kimmer.
All right, don't forget to listen up. I'm giving away the tickets to Chuck Leavell and his little lady friend at Chastain Park coming up. But quick birthday here, Pete. Olympic gold medal ice dancer Jane Torville's 58. And baseball player Evan Longorio's 30. And now sponsored by Dawsonville Gun and Pawn. Holy crap, it's sports and Pete David.
Well, it looks like the Gamecocks Tigers game is going to be moved from Columbia to Baton Rouge because they finally figured out that Columbia is just a crappy place to hold any event.
Well, no, it's the water flooding, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh.
This might be.
They have some rain or
That
something?
little rain there. Just nothing I heard about, but, you know.
There are a few sounds in sports sweeter than Yankee fans booing their own team. But here's one of those sweeter sounds. That's right, silence. The silence you hear in Yankee Stadium after they've been shut out by the Astros in a one-game playoff.
I love it.
Dallas Keuchel pitched like the 95 version of Tom Glavine as the Stros won 3-0. Today's NL one-game playoff, or tonight's, is the Cubs at Pittsburgh.
You pick a favorite in there?
Anyone but the Cubs.
Let's go
You
Pittsburgh.
have to have constants in your life, and the Cubs
Right.
blowing
Cubs continually
it.
fail. What do they think they are?
Seriously.
91 Braves.
The White Sox? On this date, 1969, the Cardinals tried to trade outfielder Curt Flood along with Byron Brown, Joe Horner, and Tim McCarver to the Phillies in exchange for Dick Allen, Jerry Johnson, and Cookie Rojas. But Flood refuses to go to Philadelphia. Smart man.
Yeah.
So St. Louis has to send Willie Montañez in Flood's place. This will lead to Curt Flood challenging baseball's reserve clause and will later bring about free agency, even though Curt lost at first there. Both Willie Montañez and Joe Horner would later become Braves, and I played Little League with Horner's kid over at Glenwood Hills.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mets pitcher Matt Harvey in the soup again, this time for failing to show up for a mandatory team workout yesterday. What's the big deal? It's just the playoffs.
It's just playoffs.
Harvey claims he was stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
This is no surprise to me that the Mets didn't see Harvey at their workout. What else do you expect from a 6-foot-tall invisible rabbit?
Harvey. Wait a minute.
Dodgers pitcher Bronson Arroyo had an assistant in charge of taking care of his yacht. Anthony Acosta didn't do such a good job at that since he told Bronson the boat sank like...
It sank?
Acosta has now been arrested in Tampa for selling the yacht. Worth $167,000 for a measly $22,000 after forging Bronson's signature.
Oh, my God. So he said, by the way, your boat sank. Sorry, man. I see it. Oh, really? Okay, fine. Sorry. Just, you want to forget it?
Sorry to bother you.
Oh, man.
All through the month of October, the NFL is wearing pink and raising awareness and money for breast cancer research.
Yes, that's right.
Well, at least they're raising awareness. ESPN reporting the NFL takes a cut from the proceeds. What percentage of all the money taken in by the NFL goes to cancer research?
Wait a minute now.
Let's play
the NFL,
here.
it's the players wearing pink shoes and pink all this stuff, and it's part of the thing for the breast cancer. And so they take it. They shouldn't take any percentage. I thought I went to the charity. I'll say 5%. The NFL takes 5%.
No. Give me the percentage that goes to the cancer research.
It should be like 95%.
Lower.
90.
Lower.
88.
Lower.
87.
Lower.
55.
Lower.
Lower than 55 goes to the charity?
Yes.
For the NFL fundraiser? 50?
Lower.
45?
Lower.
Now, wait a minute. 50, 45. Oh, you meant.
Lower.
30.
Lower.
Oh, my God.
Lower.
25.
Lower.
20.
Lower.
15.
Lower.
10.
Lower.
What? That's 0.
8%.
8%
According to ESPN, 8%. 50% of the money taken in goes to the companies that make the merchandise. Guess who owns those companies?
NFL?
The NFL.
Oh, my God.
The moral of the story seems that if you want to help fight breast cancer, which my mother beat twice, you're probably better off donating directly and not buying pink jerseys.
Oh, that's a scandal.
Well, we'll see if ESPN keeps up with it because that's supposedly that's their report.
Outrageous.
Yeah, amazing. And Falcons receiver Julio Jones is getting a lot of attention. It's not always pretty. HBO director Peter Berg, who directs the new show Ballers, starring The Rock.
Oh, yeah, I tried to watch that.
Caught on video by The Rock, going off on Julio after Jones went off on Berg's Giants in week 2.
Oh.
We can't play the tape, but Peter is heard to say, and I quote, pass interference, and we still can't stop this blinking mother blinker, Julio Jones. End quote.
Thank you. Well done, Pete. Well, something in there is going to be repeated for you at 2:30. We're going to give away the Chuck Lavelle tickets with his friend Michelle Malone for the Jazz Team concert October 16th. And also, Brett the truck driver's having a bad day. Maybe we can help. If he calls back in, we'll see if we can't take something off his mind. 2:23 on News Radio 106.7. How about a Newsmaker line? Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon, Cameron. This is your former President, Bill Clinton, calling.
Sticky. How's it going, Mr.
Well,
former
I'm
President?
appalled at this bombing of the clinic in Afghanistan.
Appalled, are you, sir?
If I taught the American people anything, Kimmer, it's that innocent civilians should only be killed to take away attention from one of my sex scandals.
You look like you did over in Bosnia.
Oh, yeah, all the
aspirin
slaughtered
factory.
scores of Serbs just right after the Juanita Broaddrick interview came out, or the way I bombed that aspirin factory right after the day Monica was testifying.
Yeah, kind of unusual there.
Vukovic didn't do any cartoons about that.
I wonder why.
Hey, did you see where the Emory Sleep Clinic has hired Neil Sedaka to do their new jingle?
Neil Sedaka, new jingle?
They say that waking up is hard to do.
Oh, that guy woke up dead. That was an accident.
If you don't, we know that you'll sue.
Terrible accident.
Don't say that this is the end.
The family won $20 million. I don't know.
Hey, did you see where Rihanna is calling Rachel Dolezal, that white NAACP lady who pretended to be black, a hero?
A hero, she says.
What the hell is wrong with Rihanna? Somebody needs to knock some sense into that girl. I know Chris Brown has tried.
Knock some sense is unfortunate. She wouldn't listen.
You know, Rachel Dolezal may not be a hero, Kimmer. That might be going too far, but she's definitely a trendsetter.
A trendsetter, sir?
Trendsetter, if I can talk.
Sorry.
After Rachel's story came out, more and more white women are backing into parking spaces.
Fellow supporters.
Choosing to rent their TVs as opposed to owning them. So.
Get the Buick Deuce in the quarter with a Crown air freshener already in it, stuff.
Exactly. Ready
full
to
gold
go.
package.
Well, Ashley Judge claiming she was sexually harassed by the head of a major studio.
Major mogul.
Yeah, maybe you heard how Ashley got it to Hollywood in the first place. It certainly went on talent, believe me.
You wouldn't know, I'm guessing.
She's got all the acting skills of Robert Eiler, who played AJ on The Sopranos. I need money.
I should have let you drown in that pool, AJ.
Fatherly advice from Tony.
I heard that Winona Judd slept her way to the top, too.
Slept her way to the top, Winona?
Sometimes she even brought her own ladder. Her nickname on Music Row was Moped. Something about fun until somebody saw
somebody
you.
Sees you, then it's a little embarrassing. Golly, thank you. It's always an honor to have a former president.
It's weird to drive all those recording studios and see bags of flour stacked.
Look out, 226. Rosie O'Donnell's 18-year-old daughter Chelsea says Rosie is a phony and a pot-smoking weed head. She's not genuine. She puts a smile on her face trying to be funny, whereas we were all at home. She'd either just be in her room not engaging with any of us or watching TV. If she would eat takeout with us, if there were cookies in the house, she'd eat them all. She was always coming around the room looking for candy. She smokes weed. The whole house stinks of it. She is obsessed with Madonna, blasts her music over the loudspeakers every time she gets. Chelsea said she struggled with depression. Rosie kicked her out before her 18th birthday. She told me to leave and take my dog. Rosie knew I was planning to leave, so she kicked me out. When the cops brought me back, she says, Rosie O'Donnell, her mother, had 2 of her bags packed with all her clothes. And the feud continues between Rosie O'Donnell and her 18-year-old daughter, Chelsea, who got thrown out of the house and now is gone on her own for good. 227. Tickets next. Hold on, Judy on News Radio 106.7.
Friends, this is Larry King with exciting news from SunSource. It's half ginkgo biloba, half milk of magnesia. It's for people who can't remember crap. And now here's your host, the Kimmer.
Syracuse, you're on. 236. News Radio 106.7. 844-404-1067. 844-404-1067. Ticket time. This is Ricky Phillips, who sings with Styx, is 64 today. Yeah, there you go. And let's see. Iron Butterflies musician Charlie Marinkovic is 56 today.
Oh, you could just get away.
What the hell was that? That was on my thing. That was on the back of this song. Where it was recorded on this song that you got. I can't believe it. That somebody double recorded on this thing. I believe. All right, it doesn't matter. I'll get by these tickets. 844-404-1067. 844-404-1067.
My day, our music was better. Not this garbage the youngins listen to. Warber, warber, warber.
I don't know where that came from either. Anyway, 2 tickets to the Rock Chastain benefit concert with Chuck Leavell and Michelle Malone, Chastain Amphitheater on October 16th. We have 2 tickets, 844-404-1067. We've got our caller sign up. We'll get to them in just 1 second. This was a day in 1991. Anita Hill, the University of Oklahoma law professor, publicly accused Supreme Court Justice nominee Clarence Thomas of making sexually inappropriate comments when she worked for him. Thomas vehemently denied the allegations, and I always have believed Anita Hill. I don't think she was lying. What a scandal that was. You got to Google and look up that case, John Boy. They had things that were on a bottle of Coca-Cola that were inappropriate. There was pictures in the I mean, it was brutal. It was brutal. All right, let's get to the fires. Judy on News Radio 106.7. Hello, Judy. How's it going?
I'm well. How are you, Kimmer?
We are all right today. Now, Judy, let me ask you this. For the tickets to Chuck Lavelle and his friend Michelle Malone at Chastain, what was the New York team that Pete Davis was talking about, which had a bunch of silence involved with it after its playoff loss?
Yankees.
The Yankees said we have a winner. I can't believe it.
How about those Mets?
No, it's not.
Somebody Mets?
No, she said Yankees.
She said Mets.
She said Yankees.
I said...
Didn't you say Yankees?
I did.
Yeah, she said Yankees.
I could lie.
Well, no, but you were talking about the Yankees got shut out and lost the playoff. That was my question.
Oh, okay.
Idiot. But Pete, I think he's taking it personally on Judy. You aren't one of his ex-wives or anything, are you?
Oh, no.
My God, man. When you sit over and said it was a Mets, she said Mets. She didn't say Mets. She said Mets, damn it. Pete, she did not say Mets. God, man, give her the freaking tickets. All right, hold on. Heartbreaker. No. Sorry, Judy. We've totally lost it. Man, that's cool. You got to, I'll give you a sweetness bell. 239. Oh, by the way, Hangman brought me in a sign from Bergeron's restaurant in Port Allen, Louisiana that says, "Thank you for carrying your gun today, 10% discount." Whoa. Absolutely. Anyway, all right, 844-404-1067. Judy gets the tickets. There you go. 844-404-1067. Judy. And she said, Yankees. Anyway, did you hear about this FBI plot? And by the way, I don't know why the FBI got involved, not the CIA, but overseas, 4 Russians in Moldova, have been trying to sell radioactive material to ISIS terrorist killers. Some of the kingpins of this have gotten away with it, but the Russians were caught, 4 of them caught 4 different times, trying to smuggle dirty bomb stuff to the Sudan for ISIS murderers to annihilate America. And when I first saw this, I said, wait a minute, Moldova, that's not a country. That's like the Fredonia from the Marx Brothers. Or the Three Stooges routine or something from Fredonia. Well, Moldova is actually a town. Moldova declared independence as part of the Soviet Union in 1991 when the Soviet Union broke up. A constitution was adopted in 94. They've been under control of the breakaway government of Transnistria. I've never heard of them either. Transnistria. Moldova is the poorest country in Europe. They have a parliamentary republic, a president as head of state, and a prime minister as lead of government. They're part of the United Nations, Council of Europe, the World Trade Organization. The Principality of Mordavia was founded in 1359. The legend accounted by the Moldavian chroniclers said the river for the town was named by the Prince Dragos after hunting an aurochs, whatever that is. After the chase, his exhausted hound drowned in the river. The dog's name was given to the river and extended the principality. The dog's name was Moldova. So they named the drowned dog in honor of him. They named the city after him in 1359.
I thought the dog's name was River.
They named the river after the... See, the dog's name was...
The Mets.
The Mets. Talking about those stinking Mets. And by the way, I got news headlines coming up. And also, other Baltic states include Estonia, which again also sounds like a Marx Brothers or a Three Stooges, and Latvia. Let's see, Transcaucasia state, Eastern Europe countries include Armenia and Azerbaijan. Other former states, Belarus, Moldova. In Central Europe, they include Croatia, Slovakia, which used to be part of Czechoslovakia, and Southeastern Europe includes Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia, Turkey, Macedonia. Another one sounds like and Montenegro. Anyway, just a few countries. Montenegro. I said, and Negro. And now, 242.
You do not want to make an enemy out of me.
Sorry, Stephen A. Smith. First, you're having Express Loop Traffic Center updated. Here's Greg Talbot.
The Kimmer Now and news, weather, and traffic on your ride home.
Look out,
on
baby.
News Radio 106.7.
Now we're talking.
Hi, this is Andy Rooney.
Hey, Andy.
And this portion of the Kimmer Show is brought to you by Marley Madeline.
Marley? Huh?
If Marley goes into court, do they still call it a hearing? That bothers me.
Man.
And now here's your host, the Kimmer.
How she was able to avoid the Nazis for 20 years in that attic, I do not understand. Tremendous achievement. Deaf, dumb, and blind girl. 250, Stevie Wonder's single. A judge has finally finalized their divorce. Fashion designer Kai Morris. They got married in 2001, separated in 2009, and finally the divorce is final. They have 2 sons, 14 and 10. And apparently Stevie Wonder and his bride just couldn't see eye to eye, I guess. Sorry. All right, I'm sorry. Hey, Stevie, you're sitting on my sandwich. Sorry.
I'm a monster.
250. How about a newsmaker license under? Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon, Kimmy, and I've been trying to call for about 4 days, and the hangman says I'm not important enough to be on your show anymore.
No,
Jay Leno here.
You've got the new show starting, I think, this week on MSNBC about your cars and garage stuff and having fun. Congratulations, back on TV.
It's even worse. I think it's CNBC.
Oh, CNBC. But you're right, it is worse.
Yeah, it's called Jay Leno's Garage. Here's a big ratings grabber, huh? Yeah, we're expecting Rock 100 morning show numbers for this, baby. I mean, who knows, Kimmer, if our ratings are low enough, Rodney Ho might even write a story about it, because he only focuses on shows that don't show up in the ratings.
Don't make it, yeah.
Rodney will get around to it right after he wraps up that 8-part series on The Regular Guys. Where are they now? Right after Rodney Ho reprints some sucking blither propaganda press release about their latest bought and paid for award verbatim.
I'm not bitter, though.
Who attends these stupid self-congratulatory radio award shows anyway?
Who attends that?
I mean, talk about a circle of jerks. I mean, why don't they just buy a Craftmatic adjustable bed and gratify themselves at home,
I can't imagine, sir.
But I'm not bitter or anything. That's the good part.
Not bitter.
Oh, here you go. Josh Duggar has joined the South Carolina flood rescue effort over out there.
Josh Duggar from that family, 18 family? Really?
Yeah, he heard they were looking for women and children first, so. Josh is actually looking for women who are children, but Oh, here you go. Dateline. Dateline's going to feature 27 different women who say they were sexually assaulted by Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, 27 of them.
A big deal. They could probably find 127 of Bill Clinton's rape victims. If any of them were still alive.
You never know. And not including the ones he just roughed up. 252. Okay, how about one more newsmaker line? Closing it out today. Good afternoon.
Hello, who is this on my phone at this ungodly hour?
Hey, it's Charlton Heston. How's it going, sir?
Mr. Heston.
Well, no.
Perfect timing.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was reading that the FBI has found Hillary's fingerprints all over her private server.
Hey, private server?
They actually lifted fingerprints off that Uma Abedin woman?
No, sir. Not that server. Sir.
Oh, her email server.
That's her aide.
Can Hillary still be in the race, for God's sakes? When are the American people going to wake up, Mr. Heston?
Yes, sir.
It's like the entire country's in an Emory sleep study or something. They may never snap out of it.
Never get out of it.
Well, as someone mentioned a minute ago, Burger King selling a new Halloween Whopper with a black bun.
A black bun?
Or as they called it, the landmark diner, mold. It's available year-round over there.
No extra charge either.
And they let the milk go yellow and call it holiday eggnog, I understand. Hangman was telling me the food coloring in that Halloween Whopper bun does something interesting to your intestines.
Yes, it does.
Let's put it this way. You thought number 17 at Chastain Park was a crappy green. A bad putting surface.
A bad surface to putt your ball on the golf course, yes.
My God. Look that one up, ladies and gentlemen.
should,
And now
yes.
it's time
Oh, yes.
for a visitor from the East. Charnak.
Charnak.
The Magnificent.
The Magnificent.
As the man handing me these envelopes.
Well,
Who do I look like over here? Oh.
No, sir.
The answer is a passenger side airbag.
A passenger side airbag.
What's another name for Barbara Dooley?
Shut up, Barbara.
The answer is fired with enthusiasm.
Fired with enthusiasm.
Describe the staff at 92.9 The Game.
You're out.
They're not just fired. They do it. The answer is an NFL official and Dr. Walter Palmer.
An NFL official and Dr. Walter Palmer, the dentist.
Two things that are really rough on the Lions. It wasn't that great of a line, and I still couldn't say it.
Couldn't say the line. It's all right.
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions, of course.
The answer is, how's the little lady?
How's the little lady?
What's a stupid question to ask a Cox Broadcasting executive?
Don't they do Men's Warehouse or something? Don't they have one?
Yes, it's not really has anything to do with clothing. It's just a warehouse filled with men.
They wear the suits.
I hold in my hand the final envelope.
Thank you. There's a God.
May your only son be first place at the next Cox Award show. Cover me, John Boy.
Yes, sir.
The answer is a traffic light and Burger King.
A traffic light and Burger King.
Two places where green means go. Or does go mean green?
Either way, you're going to see green at some point. Thank you. Sim. Look out. It's only us. It's only we, the Kimmer and Gang, here on News Radio 106.7. Tomorrow we do it all over again. Friday we have the glorious Leslie Duff. Don't forget the Newsmaker Line guy and the Kimmer are making a rare public appearance this Saturday around noon at RBM of Alpharetta, part of their community-wide fabulous party celebrating their anniversary. This Saturday we'll be there. Come on by to say hi, take a picture, shake hands, or whatever. Anyway, as an ordained minister, most dangerous minister in America, I can tell you, don't let your worries get the best of you. Remember, Moses started out as a basket case. See a basket case? Look out, I gotta go, you're killing me. Sarah 5, hoorah! Herp.
Hey guys, it's John Boy. Thanks for downloading today's Kimmer Show podcast. Be sure to tune in from noon to 3, Monday to Friday, for more fun with the whole gang right here on News Radio 106.7.